Outside the Marduk temple, Ira battled Ninmagus fiercely, their energies clashing like elements in a storm. Though Marduk's light shielded him, Ira felt the relentless weight of Ninmagus's dark power pressing against him. Inside the temple, Vanessa knelt with priests who chanted prayers to Marduk, their voices echoing through the sacred halls. Distracted by haunting visions of Bray from her dreams, his seductive power and terrifying control, Vanessa struggled to focus. Her trance broke when she heard Ira's desperate cry for help, faint but unmistakable, coming from the rear of the temple. Ignoring the priest's warnings, Vanessa rushed outside, her footsteps echoing through the stone corridors. She entered the dark courtyard, where the chill deepened and shadows consumed the faint torchlight. As she called out for Ira, a figure emerged. Vanessa froze as Bray stepped into the dim light, the same man from her nightmares. His cruel, magnetic eyes gleamed with malice, and his smile sent terror through her. Bray knelt beside Vanessa, his voice soft yet sinister. "I knew you would come," he said, claiming Ira was too preoccupied with Ninmagus to save her. He promised freedom from her suffering, his words a dark seduction. Vanessa, trembling and torn, whispered a shaky refusal, clinging to her fragile resolve. Bray's smile remained as his tone turned cold. "Ah, Vanessa, so stubborn. But in time, you'll see I'm the only one who can save you." With a flick of his wrist, shadows coiled around Vanessa, their icy grip pulling her toward him. She screamed, struggling against the dark tendrils, but they lifted her effortlessly. Her vision blurred as Bray's power swallowed her into the void. Back at the temple, Ira felt a surge of dread. Mid-battle with Ninmagus, he heard Vanessa's faint scream. His heart raced as he shouted, "Vanessa!" Ninmagus circled him, laughing. "You cannot save her. Bray has her now." Furious, Ira summoned Marduk's light, striking Ninmagus and forcing her back. "You won't take her from me," he roared, channeling his growing power. As Ninmagus launched a final attack, Ira countered with a radiant punch, obliterating her dark energy and sending her sprawling. Determined, he sprinted toward the temple. Ninmagus pursued, her shadowy form closing in. But as Ira crossed the sacred threshold, an ancient barrier flared to life. Ninmagus collided with the unseen force, her attack thwarted. Ira, burning with resolve, prepared for the next battle, unwilling to let the darkness win. A loud crack reverberated as Ninmagus was thrown backward by an impenetrable force from the temple's threshold. Her body twisted mid-air before landing hard on the cold stone, her breath ragged and blood filling her mouth. The temple's sacred power had thwarted her, a fact she had arrogantly underestimated. Kneeling and clutching her chest, her dark energy flickered weakly. Her fury boiled over as she spat blood, her voice trembling with rage. "This is not over, Ira. I will tear you from that light." Weakened, Ninmagus vanished into the shadows, leaving only the scent of sulfur behind. Inside the temple, Ira collapsed, the battle's toll evident in his every breath. The sacred energy around him offered momentary solace, but unease gnawed at him. Vanessa was missing. Frantic, Ira searched the temple, his voice echoing as he called her name. Statues of Marduk and burning incense provided no answers. Reaching the back chambers, he found Vanessa's room empty. Desperation overtook him as he stormed through the halls, his fear growing. Outside, Ira discovered faint footprints leading away from the temple. Dark energy lingered in the air, and his worst fears solidified. Vanessa had been taken. Determined, Ira followed the trail, anger and dread fueling his resolve. As Ira followed the trail into the dark woods behind the temple, the trees twisted above him, forming shadowy figures. The temple's light faded, leaving him in near darkness. His breathing grew labored as he pushed forward. The footprints ended abruptly in a clearing. His heart pounded as he found no sign of Vanessa, only a crow watching him with piercing black eyes. Falling to his knees, Ira whispered, "Where are you?" The crow cawed ominously, sending a chill through him. Meanwhile, in an abandoned, crumbling apartment, Vanessa sat immobilized by Bray's will. Her hatred burned in her eyes as she glared at him, standing ominously in the shadows. Bray's voice filled the oppressive room. "You're wasting your energy on hatred, Vanessa. A war is coming, and you're on the wrong side. Vanessa spat back. I will never join you, Bray. I choose Ira. Bray's smile vanished, and his tone turned venomous as he cursed Ira's name, claiming Ira was no hero. Bray revealed ancient truths about Ira's history, invoking the name of Cyrus the Great, the Persian king defeated by Ira in life. The room trembled as Bray ominously spoke of the hatred Cyrus still harbored, leaving Vanessa to question the depths of Ira's true past. Vanessa's pulse quickened, though she forced her defiance to hold firm as Bray revealed his plan. What does any of this have to do with me? She demanded. Bray's chuckle, like grinding stone, filled the room. Everything. You will be the vessel to bring Cyrus back, so he may take his vengeance on Ira. Her heart pounded as she spat. I'll fight you. You won't win. Bray smirked darkly, retorting, Oh, you will fight, but not as you imagine. He extended his hand, summoning a malevolent energy that coiled like serpents in the room. Shadows thickened, and the air grew icy as an ancient hatred materialized, a formless essence of rage emanating from Cyrus's spirit. Vanessa gasped as the chilling force seeped into her, freezing her from the inside. A voice hissed in her mind. Ira must die. Despite her struggles, the spirit overwhelmed her, and her body convulsed as her eyes turned blood red. Welcome back, Cyrus, Bray said with satisfaction. Vanessa's body, now controlled by Cyrus, growled, I will kill him. I will tear him apart. Bray's triumph was clear. He had unleashed an ancient force, setting the stage for a battle of vengeance against Ira. Cyrus, now inhabiting Vanessa's body, clenched his fists and stared into the dim room as whispers of ancient forces stirred beyond Bray's control. Meanwhile, Ira stood at the base of the Marduk Temple under a starless Rhode Island sky. The chill in the air mirrored the dread consuming him. Vanessa was gone, taken by Bree. The temple's relics offered no answers, and the gods remained silent. Determined, Ira turned and ran, his movements fueled by desperation. The city's empty streets, slick from rain, blurred as he pushed himself faster, shadows closing in around him. Each step carried the weight of his failure, the memory of Vanessa's trusting eyes haunting him. His heart raced, not from exertion, but from terror at what Bray might do. Despite his unnatural speed and relentless drive, the city offered no leads, just endless alleys and flickering streetlights. The sprawling, unfamiliar urban landscape seemed to mock his efforts, while Bray remained elusive, a phantom moving beyond reach. Ira's surroundings dissolved into streaks of light and shadow as he ran harder, chasing the faint hope of finding Vanessa. But the farther he pushed, the more the night seemed to swallow him, leaving only his fear to guide him through the void. Ira sprinted through the night, desperation clawing at his chest as seconds slipped away, each one widening the distance between him and Vanessa. Where are you? He had thought, his mind racing. But the silence offered no answers. No signs guided him. No clues hinted at Bray's location. This wasn't a battle he could fight with a blade. It was a war against time, and he was losing. The wind roared in his ears as he pushed his body to inhuman speeds, tearing through the dark streets of Rhode Island. The city blurred into a void of shadows and faint lights, yet it wasn't enough. Panic surged higher with every step, the weight of uncertainty threatening to crush him. He couldn't sense Vanessa's presence, couldn't feel her, and the thought of her slipping away to Bray's sinister grasp was unbearable. His legs were a blur, moving faster than mortal limits, but still no trace of Bray or Vanessa appeared. Ira's chest burned, not from exhaustion, his body didn't falter, but from the growing dread of failure. The oppressive night swallowed him whole, the old powers that once guided him now distant and silent. Yet he pressed on, haunted by Vanessa's fearful gaze, vowing he wouldn't lose her. Not again.